Good day, everybody. Welcome back. Pillars Unveiled. We got another little look here from Danielle Smith and her perspective. I agree with Danielle Smith most out of everybody that's been talking about the Trump tariffs. She is the most level-headed, direct person out there. She has a very good approach to everything. And I think the narrative she sets is one of the most aspiring. Let's take a listen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When U.S. President Donald Trump first announced his threatened tariffs against Canada and began musing about our country becoming the 51st state, many Canadians and Albertans feared for their futures. And why? Because regardless of our political stripe, we all knew that the imposition of 25% tariffs on all Canadian goods to the U.S. would cost the jobs of hundreds of thousands of Canadians, would depress our economy, devastate our budget, and damage the sovereignty of our country. And in the roughly 4 months until just before last weekend's federal election call, premiers, party leaders, and Canadians were united, other than perhaps the Alberta NDP, in working as hard as we could to convince the U.S. President and Congress to reconsider these unjustified actions against our country. In fact, premiers were all encouraged by each other, as well as by the former Prime Minister and his ministers, to visit the U.S., to get on U.S. media, to speak with every U.S. official and influencer we could to convince the U.S. President to refrain from imposing these tariffs. It was all about working as Team Canada for the greater good. Enter Liberal Prime Minister Mark Carney. Now, all of a sudden, it's apparently treason to talk to American media personalities that we disagree with. It is disloyal to try and persuade high-profile Republicans holding influence with the president to abandon his tariff policies on Canada. Indeed, it's a high crime to try and convince U.S. officials to refrain from imposing tariffs until after our country has elected a leader with a strong mandate. Shame on all who dare to speak with the enemy, they now say. These are the Team Carney and NDP talking points. Their endgame is quite obvious. Frighten and divide Canadians. Try and make Canadians forget the utter incompetence of Liberal and NDP policies that have been inflicted on this country over the last 10 years. Associate Conservatives with President Trump. And if they play their cards just right and sprinkle in just enough anti-Alberta rhetoric, presto, Canada might elect another Liberal majority government. The Carney Liberals and the Nenshi NDP are right about one thing. Our country is indeed vulnerable right now. And the reason why is as clear as a sunny Alberta day. It is because for the last 10 years, Liberal and NDP leaders across this country, both federal and provincial, have repeatedly sold out Canada and Alberta with policies that have landlocked our immense natural resources, made nation-building projects practically impossible to finance and build, and have made securing access to our ports exercise in frustration and futility. These Liberal and NDP leaders, from Trudeau to Singh and now to Prime Minister Mark Carney, have done everything in their power to sow investment uncertainty, to add impossibly high costs on the development of our resources, and have disastrously weakened our security and military, all in the name of their green extremist.
See, and what they're doing is they're doing this to change the narrative. So that way, when everybody's surprised that Mark Carney gets elected, handpicked, elected into the spot for the next 4 years, not as much people are surprised. That's why they've been rigging polls, changing the narrative, making it out to be the Trump tariffs, that everything's gone bad in Canada, not because of their policies, not because of their agenda, their woke, WEF, New World Order, World Health Organization agenda that's been going on for the last 110 years. I made a video earlier about the World Health Organization. I was having some audio issues, so I'm hoping to have it out tomorrow. I got all my audio issues fixed now. I lost about an hour and a half of footage today, and that's why I haven't had any videos out, and this one's coming out so late. So without further ado, let's get back into it. And that's a little bit of a teaser for the next upcoming video. It was supposed to come out before this one, but technical issues happen to the best of us.
Religion and its cult leaders named Guilbeault, Suzuki, Gore, and Thunberg. And the results are obvious. Canadians are poorer than Americans, overly dependent on the Americans, and vulnerable to many nations, including the Americans. Canada has indeed been sold out, big time. And it's been sold out by the utter incompetent, self-righteous, and extreme policies of Liberal and NDP leadership across this country, including the Nenshi NDP right here in Alberta. From C-69 to oil and gas production caps to tanker bans to a dozen other examples, the Liberals and their allies have attacked the Alberta and Saskatchewan economies.
The list just keeps going on, ladies and gentlemen. The Liberals are responsible for so much. Same with the NDPs, and they'd rather have the country go in more debt with the tariff crisis and turning it into another assistance program for the workers affected. Even Pollier had a speech out today. I was going to hopefully hold this for a different video, but I'm here anyway. Talking about all the workers that are fearing for their jobs, fearing for layoffs, fearing for getting fired. If you're still working today, you should just be counting your blessings, because there's a lot of the population that isn't working and a lot of the population that is homeless. And I'm in a basement right now recording this because I'm not far from being homeless myself, thanks to this Trudeau Liberal woke agenda from the WEF. Yay! Just being honest, people. And that's why I have the time to do this. I have been laid off for several months. Many resumes out there, there's just not enough work out there for the type of job that I do. But life happens. Stuff happens. And we wake up the next day and make the most of it. That's why I'm here, trying to get my narrative out there, the way I see things. And it's not just the way I see things, it's the way a lot of people should be seeing things. And I hope Pollier ends up getting a couple of my videos, because he's right up there with the tariff war rhetoric, and we need to retaliate. We need to be Canada first, elbows up. No. I've been saying many of my videos. Again, I lost some of them today, so hopefully I can get them recovered and fix the audio issues. However, we need to clean our streets, we need to clean our cities, we need to clean our towns, our municipalities, our provinces, our territories. And if you are a person that can do something, and if you feel you can, it doesn't matter. A small choice, a small act of kindness goes a long way in helping your neighbor out. Doesn't matter what it might be, but if you have the power, the ability to make a difference and make a change, stand up like Danielle Smith here, say something, speak your truth, have your opinion and your narrative spoken. The more people speaking about this, the better, because the mainstream media has everybody just brainwashed and manipulated. Danielle Smith mentioned that now you're anti-Canadian to go down to the States and talk on the news, but all the Liberals had to go down to the United States to announce their Liberal candidacy for the Liberal leadership race, because all the news networks in Canada are censored. So hypocritical, and I cannot stand a hypocrite. That's my biggest pet peeve, is being a hypocrite. And that's all they are. NDP, Liberals, they're all hypocrites. Let's get back into it. That's my rant for the day.
Mercilessly. And despite all that, despite the 10-year attack on Alberta by our own federal government, where tariffs were threatened on tariffs were threatened on our fellow Canadians, and the federal Liberals realized they had no contacts or allies anywhere in the new U.S. administration, what did the Alberta government do? Did we cower in the corner, madly texting our tweets about hating Donald Trump on X? Did we turn into part-time TikTok rage farmers to stir up as much fear and loathing of Americans as humanly possible? Did we give up, throw our hands in the air, express righteous indignation, but do nothing to fight against the threat imposed on our province and country? No, that's what the Nenshi NDP did, of course, but we, Alberta's UCP government, we did not. Instead, our government did exactly what Albertans expected us to do. We decided to fight tooth and nail for Albertan and Canadian jobs and sovereignty.
And sovereignty. So Danielle Smith is just very on point right there. And I don't think there's anybody else out there that has the same narrative that she has right now. Scott Moe seems to be on her side. I think he's just too scared to say what he really thinks. He'd rather just piggyback along Danielle Smith, be a follower, not a leader. And that's what we need more of. We need more leaders, not followers. Don't be a follower. Don't be waiting for tomorrow. Don't be waiting for change that's not coming. Make the change today. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out the channel. You made it this far. Help promote the channel if you like what you see here. If you don't, well, I'm still going to continue making videos because I got nothing else to do. Thanks for coming out. Subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.